your daily leftist detox counselor, your fearless host, Brock Lawley.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Brock Lawley program. My name is Brock Lawley. I am your fearless host. Let's jump into the story, shall we? As so depressing as they may be, we need to chew on them. I'll try to give you a little sugar to make the medicine go down. I will. Terrorists were nice guys, says the New York Times. Ladies and gentlemen, I say this to my leftist friends, and yes, I have quite a few leftist friends. I say this all the time. You know, until they do business with the reality, until they just focus their mind on the reality that Islamic extremist terror is real, it's because of Islam, it's because of that ideology. It has nothing to do with America's great sins or military expansion or disrespecting, this or that. No, it's wholly in the lap. Now, I'm not saying there's not nuance. There's nuance to everything. Obviously. In any case, blame is multifaceted, for sure. Does carpet bombing, some Afghani village help drive what might be a quote-unquote moderate Muslim into the arms of ISIS? Possibly. That's a possibility. The left wants to stake the entire claim there. But my point is, it's Islam. It's clearly Islam until there's reformation within Islam, which can't happen unless we're at least talking about it honestly. There will be no solution to this. No solution to this. The left is one of the greatest impediments, not because they're cutting the heads off of people. That's not what I'm saying. ISIS is responsible for that. Radical Islam is responsible for that. The reason that the left is harming you and endangering you is because what needs to happen is this ideology needs to be dealt with. This ideology needs to be spoken against harshly, viciously, relentlessly. And there needs to be an outcropping within Islam that condemns this, that makes this unthinkable, so on and so forth. All other religions have reformations. All other religions have had to go through seasons of self-correction, self-examination, except Islam, because of leftism. Because of leftism, that's the reason. The reason is because leftism will not allow it to be spoken of because it's in a victimcrat category, which, by the way, is insane. But regardless of the fact that Islam is in opposition to everything the left claims, it's insane because it needs this. This is how we fix it. Look, I am not a dove on radical Islam. I think military action is necessary in some cases. But that's not actually how we're going to beat this. And that's why the leftist denial and, moreover, running defense for radical Islam all the time is so dangerous. It's not silly. It's dangerous. It's endangering people. London's moronic neighbor or moronic mayor is endangering that city because he is not serious about Islam. He's not being serious about the cause of terror in that city. It's serious stuff. It's not stupid. It's not foolishness. And all the romper room headlines you're reading from the left. Literally, the New York Times publishes terrorists were nice guys because they handed out candy at Halloween. Okay, so they hung on an ISIS flag, stabbed, murdered, ran over, bombed, maimed, impaled. But you know what? They handed out some Halloween candy. Pretty much just like you. I mean, what does it really matter if they literally plunged a knife into a young, small girl's skull? What does that matter? They handed out some Halloween candy. Who are you Islamophobe? America has atrocities in its past. We're understanding terrorists to our own death. That's what we're doing. You want to read some sense? The Wall Street Journal has an amazing piece. Terror and the Teddy Bear Society. It's maddening, ladies and gentlemen, and you're not going to be laughing and you're not going to be rolling your eyes when it's dark, twisted, cold Skeletor hands touch somebody you love. That's a fact. So pull your head out of your rump and get serious about this. I oppose the left's policies fiscally. I oppose their policies socially. But even if I didn't, I would not I would not deem the left worthy of governing anything, governing an anthill, if they were not willing, if they did not have the willingness to call this spade a spade, to make sure that people understand the real danger they're in. They're simply not worthy of power. If they do not have the intellectual honesty or, moreover, the judgment to be honest about this, they are not worthy of power anywhere, because they're going to get people killed. And if a government does not protect its citizens, it is literally worthless to you. It is literally worthless to you. That's about the only thing it still does. And in the case of leftist-run environments, it's not doing that. So at that point, it just takes money from you. Impedes your freedom. I mean, listen, a bureaucratic state, if it offers you anything, think of it as a product, right? Would you buy an iPhone if it didn't make phone calls, didn't run apps, didn't turn on, couldn't play music, couldn't shoot video or pictures? Would you feel after you shelled out $800 that you got your end of the deal on that one? Think of government as an iPhone that is bricked. That's what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I want to turn your attention to the Wall Street Journal article, which is worthy of your reading. 25-year-old leaks documents, top secret documents, to an Atlanta journal. Poor innocent sweet girl, says the left. Poor innocent sweet girl. She's going to be charged with, treason. She's a leftist. She was a Bernie supporter. That's emerged now. Gave secret documents to intercept which, I forget the guy's name. Give me a second here. Oh, Greenwald's leftist news website, the freelance founder of eBay. That cat. Anyway, so think about this. At this point, you oppose the president. It's cool to just leak internal security documents. It's just cool because your politics and your particular policy preferences trump the oath you took, national security, and leftists believe this. Now, of course, if Donald Trump wasn't president, Barack Obama was president, they would be tarring and feathering this girl. And everybody knows that. Even the liberals know it. The leftists listening to this know darn well that's true. No, but he's so egregious, and we have to stop him. Why? Well, what it comes down to is he's implementing policies that are not leftist policies. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is enough of a reason to just blow up the whole infrastructure of our intelligence agencies. The left is just nightmarish in their dogma, nightmarish in their ideology and their ideological fanaticism. Because they literally don't care about anything but it. There's nothing more important than that ideology moving forward. If elections impede it, if law is getting in the way, it doesn't matter. And we have this new thing coming up here with Comey. A congressional hearing or Watergate. A congressional hearing or Watergate. Well, if you were to listen to the left, the answer to that is most certainly Watergate. Most certainly Watergate. No evidence, mind you. Oh, still zero evidence. Still, we're how many months deep into this presidency? And it is all conjecture. It is all hidden sources or unnamed sources or some guy who's passing gas at the New York Times editorial page who's just got a secret source. His toothless grandmother in Depends is it's just opposed to Donald Trump on every level. Can I get you on the record, Granny? Can I get you on the record? Go with it. Print it. Secret sources. This stuff is preposterous. It is the biggest Potemkin village. It is the biggest nothing ever. And yet they're going to fan the spark, hoping there's going to be some sort of flame. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. You lost an election. Let's just reiterate this one more time. I know this is a redundant drumbeat. You lost an election because your policies are horrible. Your candidate was even more horrible, if that's even possible. And to add irony, to end all irony, your candidate was literally a criminal and literally guilty of the things that you're now just projecting onto Donald Trump. Fascinating leftist cognitive dissonance, if ever there was one. Moving on. The president wants to bring air traffic control into the 21st century. Sounds like a good idea. Democrats are appalled. It's Trump's idea, so it's bad. Let alone that the leftist Canada has had this for years. The system that the president is proposing for years. Now, normally some sort of like lefty country like that, if they've done something, we just should do it de facto, right? I mean, you hear that all the time from the left. Europe, all other nations, other people that aren't us, they're doing it, we should do it. They have hellhole socialist medicine. We should have hellhole socialist medicine. But in this case, Donald Trump, he proposed the idea, so it's got to be from the devil. Anyway, New York Times just beside themselves over this. These are progressive people, by the way. Progressive people who hate progress. Ladies and gentlemen, progress to the left, and I'm not kidding you, is having some guy, some man with an Adam's apple, biceps and back muscles, stepping into an MMA ring or a boxing ring or a sporting event because he psychologically thinks he's a woman, pounding on that woman in the boxing ring, kicking that woman relentlessly in the MMA ring, and then just because that's this person's gender fluid, we're watching a man physically beat on a woman, and the left is advocating for this. In fact, if a guy like me has a problem with this, I'm some sort of horrible cretin. That's deemed progressive today. That's progressive, ladies and gentlemen. They're insane. They've got to be stopped. It's not a difference of political opinion. It's total madness. Anyway, London policemen, ladies and gentlemen, armed with a baton, are facing terrorists. Why? Because London won't allow them to have guns. Thanks, liberals. And lastly, high school students across the nation are resisting global warming orthodoxy. And that's what it is. It's dogma. It's orthodoxy. It's religion, standard religion. And this is so bugging the New York Times. I'm reading this piece in the New York Times. It's so bugging the New York Times. Ladies and gentlemen, there's since all Paris Accord. Before I let you go, there's an amazing Prager University video on this, which just factually points out that, let's just say you're a man is Chicken Little, destroying the earth, whatever. Let's say that's your dogma. This climate, Paris climate, it does nothing. There's nothing to impact any of that. Anyway, PragerU videos are just outstanding. That's why YouTube's blocking them. They're crushing it, and they're having a huge impact on young people. And we got to fight. We got to fight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the Brock Lawley program. Be a people of fortitude, character, and abounding courage.
Democrats will regret the power grab.
À Brock Lawley Productions.